Today we are going to talk about the 4 Emanators that are on Amphoreus, and no, I am not going to count the Herta because the Herta isn't technically on Amphoreus, at least not in the same way that the other 4 Emanators that I am going to talk about are, and I would love to hear your opinion about it in the comments section below. Now before we start, don't forget to subscribe, like and share to support the channel, and without any further ado, let's just get started. So who is our first Emanator that is on Amphoreus? Well, I think that the one that is the most obvious is the Lord Ravager, the Emanator of Destruction, and in my opinion that is going to end up being Phainon / the Flame Reaver, because both of them are going to end up being the same person, so it doesn't matter whether you want to count it basically Phainon or you want to count it as the Flame Reaver. I believe that what is going to happen is the fact that the Flame Reaver is the actual Phainon. He is basically the Lord Ravager who they are trying to imprison in the cycle of Amphoreus. And then Phainon is created as a character in a simulation to fight the Flame Reaver, to prevent the Flame Reaver from escaping the cycle. And both the Flame Reaver and Phainon are the exact same person, which is kinda messed up, to be honest. If it ends up being like that, then that would make the good guys seem more like bad guys, to be honest. Like, imagine capturing someone and then basically deciding that they would have to fight themselves for eternity for the rest of their life. This is absolutely insane. Like, seriously, that is going to be crazy. But either way, in my opinion, that Phainon and the Flame Reaver are going to end up being the exact same person. Just one of them is created to fight the other one, and the Flame Reaver is definitely going to end up being basically the Lord Ravager that they are trying to imprison in Amphoreus. Either way, who is our second Emanator? Well, our second Emanator is going to most likely be March 7th, an Emanator of remembrance. I don't think that after all of the hyping up and after everything they are trying to make March 7th sound something extremely important for the Amphoreus story, they would end up giving us a normal 5-star version of her? No, I don't think so. I think that they are going to definitely give her a much more important role in the story, and they are going to make her basically be an Emanator. And obviously March 7th, with everything that is fitting perfectly for the remembrance path, she is definitely going to be basically an Emanator of remembrance. There has been already talk about her being basically an Emanator of remembrance since the very first day we saw her, and we understood what Emanators are. So it won't be surprising, it won't be anything crazy, but it will be crazy for the story itself, and I really can't wait to see what they are going to do with her. But I believe that she is going to definitely end up being basically an Emanator of remembrance with her real form, which seems like it is going to be an evil form of her. So we will see what they are going to do with that. Now, who is our third Emanator? Well, our third Emanator, and most likely is going to be the most debatable one, because there are so many people who doesn't like the fact that that person claimed that they are an Emanator, and I understand it, but come on guys, come on. Seriously. Anyways, our third Emanator is going to be an Emanator of erudition, and no, it's not the Herta, it's Lygus. Now, there are some people who are saying that maybe it's not an Emanator of erudition, but rather basically an Emanator for Talantus, but I think that it is going to be basically an Emanator of erudition, and that is going to be Lygus. I don't think that the Herta herself, seeing someone making fun of her or trying to basically fight her, would basically just sit down and do nothing about it, right? She didn't even say a word after he told her that he would basically cause the destruction of both him and her at the same time if they fight together. She didn't try to even argue with it, which means that it's most likely correct, and she knows that. Most likely. This is just my opinion about it. If you disagree, I completely understand. you don't want to see your Herta being basically overpowered by someone like Lygus. I completely understand that, but it is a possibility, and we will see what they are going to do with that Lygus. But for now, it seems like that Lygus is actually an Emanator of Erudition, and he seems like to be basically as strong as the Herta. Obviously, if he is an Emanator of Erudition, he is most likely going to be as strong as her. So he doesn't even need to be exactly as strong as her. If he is just strong enough to cause the destruction of both him and her at the same time, that is more than enough to prove his worth. So he doesn't really need to be exactly as strong as her. Either way, I think that this is the one that people are going to disagree with me the most on, because it's not something that is basically going to make a lot of sense, to be honest, because Lygus doesn't look like an Emanator in terms of look, but we will see. We will see what the developers are going to do. Either way, our fourth Emanator that exists on Amphoreus. Well, our fourth Emanator is going to be Sirene. Yes, I am one of the people who doesn't believe that March 7th is Sirene. No, she is not. Mem is Sirene. March 7th is not Sirene. Sirene is a completely different character that we are going to basically get Mem to transform into, and March 7th is a completely different character that is going to have a completely different form from Sirene. This is my opinion about it, and I will stand by that opinion. I completely I disagree with the fact that people think that instead of selling us both March 7th and Sirene, they would sell us only one of them, Sirene. That is completely crazy. It's a gacha game. They are going to sell you as many characters as they can. They are going to sell you a new form of March 7th, and they are going to sell you Sirene as well. Now, in case we do get Sirene and she is not March 7th, what type of Emanator it is going to be? Well, in my opinion, even though Sirene is not March 7th, I believe that they are connected in some shape, way, or form, and that connection is going to be through the path of remembrance. I believe that Sirene as well is going to end up being an Emanator of remembrance, but she might be even stronger than March 7th, because she is going to be a much more important character for the Amphoreus story than what March 7th is, and therefore I believe that she is going to be way stronger. She might be actually on the same level as the Lord Ravager Phainon, and both of them might be stronger than basically March 7th. And the reason is that she is basically a variant of Elysia in Honkai Impact 3rd, and if you do know Elysia, she is one of the most important characters in Honkai Impact 3rd, and I think that they are going to basically handle Sirene the exact same way. And by the way, if Acheron is basically an Emanator, if Phainon is an Emanator, then it's guaranteed that Sirene is going to be an Emanator as well, because all three of these are basically important characters for the lore and are Emanators as well, and they are variants of important characters from Honkai Impact 3rd. So they aren't like Sele, Bronia or stuff like that. They are actually three of the absolute most important characters in the story of Honkai Impact 3rd, mainly Mei, Kevin and Elysia. These are extremely important characters for the Honkai Impact 3rd story, and I believe that since they did handle basically they handled Mei in that way, Acheron, I believe that Phainon and Sirene are going to also be basically treated the same way. Either way, these are the 4 Emanators on Amphoreus. I would love to hear your opinion about it in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share to support the channel, and until next time, see you as always in the next video.